Mates, how's life behind bars? Not these bars, these bars. This is almost kind of like part 3, isn't it? Of the whole exhaust wars thing. Okay, because originally, if we look right back, we had the R1300 GS, this bike behind me, and we're putting on all the different exhausts, the stock exhaust, the aftermarket Acra, and the Jekyll and Hyde. And then part 2, which I only released recently, was putting the DCAT header on. So if you haven't seen those videos, please, I've put links down below to those videos and you can see them being highlighted up above as well, just so you can follow the journey of this exhaust on my bike and the way it's now working. So in that very last video, part 2 if you like, we put the decatted header on by Akrapovic. It's a titanium decatted header. It looks the business. They've got a lovely blue and purpley color, which I really, really love it on any exhaust. And plus we've saved a few pounds in weight. It's a lighter bike. And in that video, you hear that I'm really pleased with the sound. The sound doesn't come through as well as I want it to. The sound that you hear in person is completely different. So if you are living nearby, if you are near our address and you pop in, please pop in. We'll roll the bike outside and we'll fire it up so you can hear it for yourself. But be warned, you will need deep pockets because this is not a cheap setup for your bike. So if you don't want to be spending silly money on your bike, just don't watch the rest of this video really, but stay tuned if you're interested. So I was happy with it and you can see my reaction when I'm riding it. Crap, this is great. Whoa. I'm pleased with it. I can feel the difference. It just sounds better. I'm more excited. It's nice and quiet when the Jekyll and Hyde valve is closed. I found the Acra pipe a little bit too loud with the decatted header. Wow, that is really loud. However, I've got a funny feeling, although I haven't done a test with it, but I've got a funny feeling, because you've seen the title of this video, you know it's been mapped. I've got a funny feeling the mapping is going to make it quieter. I don't know how, but let me explain. So we left it that I would take it for a map. Now, we couldn't get the bike in before Christmas, and with weather and stuff, we had to keep pushing that back. We took it to BHP less than 2 weeks ago now. We put it on the dyno, he ran a test. Now, I could show you all the printouts on here, but I feel that, well, I might overlay it as I'm talking to you, but I feel you should go to his video because he is better at explaining everything about the printouts from the dyno when it comes to what you see as the system is right now and how lean the bike is running, and it wasn't running to its best ability. Then he created a map right there and then. That map is now on my bike. I didn't get a chance to ride it that day because the weather wasn't very nice. And I really didn't want to go and stick 150 brake horsepower down on the tarmac when the roads were all icy. And that is what this is punching out now, 150 brake horsepower. So it was roughly about 4 or 5 days later after we got back. I found a nice dry day, which is very rare in January, but I took it out, I took the camera, and I've got that footage now to show you. Before we watch that footage, I just want you to know that I struggled with getting the audio right this time. I've got this new camera and audio setup with 2 microphones, but unfortunately the wind noise, and it was an exceptionally windy day as well, the wind noise took over on the microphone. So what I've done is I've taken the audio from the K7 camera and I've mixed that in there as well, and then I've played around with the settings, so when I'm speaking I bring my sound back in, but there's a little bit of wind noise in there, and then when I stop speaking we focus on the sound coming from the in of K7. So just be mindful of the audio. It's not that bad to listen to. You can hear exactly what the exhaust is doing and the engine's doing. It's definitely watchable. You will be able to watch this video. But before we watch that video, I got there and I learned quite a lot from Cal, the owner of BHP. Call me naive, but I thought, and this is what I assume, when you hear the word chipping, I'm gonna get my car chipped, I'm gonna get my bike chipped, I'm gonna get it remapped. In my head, I think of boy racer, hooligan, someone who just wants their car to go faster and louder. In my opinion, maybe because of my age, I don't see that as cool anymore. Little did I know that mapping your vehicle is basically making it exactly as it should be. exactly what the engine wants you to do, especially with modern bikes. So our bikes, when they come out of the factory, the manufacturer has to adhere to emissions. Our bikes are tuned to clear emissions testing. Simple as that. They are not running to the best as what they possibly could be. They are literally tuned to the detriment of your engine. And that has been a complete eye-opener for me, to the point where I feel robbed. I actually feel robbed over the last 10, 15 years of all my bikes. I've never got them mapped. I now feel every bike should be mapped to make it right. I can imagine some of you are probably screaming at the screen, well, where BMW wanted that. If they wanted to like that, you know, I'm sure they know what they're doing, but it's the truth, because we stick it on the dyno, even a factory one, forget about this one, because BHP have had just factory standard bikes go in. He's had a factory standard R1300 GS on his dyno, and he's done a readout and a printout, and you can see it's all wrong. They run way too lean, to the detriment of the engine of that bike. So by the time he tunes it, it's not about getting more brake horsepower. That's just a byproduct of the tune. It's about making it run right, about getting that mixture between lean and rich spot on. When you do that, your bike will run like a dream. And the video you're about to see, you're going to hear my natural reaction of my excitement, because this bike is no longer the same. It's a different bike. It's a better bike. I thought it was great. I've always been happy with it. But my God, my God, it's absolute different animal now. We've got an offer for you where you can buy one of these from us here at A Bike Thing. We are stocking these now on our shelves. You can buy them from us, we send them to you, and as long as we have that map on file, as in BHP have got it on file, you can upload the file to your bike without taking it to BHP and having it shipped yourself. It means you do it at home all by yourself, but you can toggle between your factory map and the new remap, which makes it run better. And the other thing, if you are not 100% completely satisfied, you've got a 14-day money back guarantee. So, you know, I know that how you're going to feel when you ride it, you will not need to exercise that warranty. I know you're going to believe in this product, because it really is a game changer. If you know me, if you've just found the channel and you don't know me, well then people who are watching this channel who know me, I put my name on stuff that I strongly believe in. I stand by my word. All right, so you'll be happy with it, and there's no problem at all. If you need a refund because you're not happy with it, you send it back. They've done quite a clever job of making sure it's assigned to the VIN number of your bike. So it's a case of you buy it, we ship it to you, you do an update on your Windows PC. It doesn't work with Mac, by the way. You do an update on your Windows PC, you plug it into your bike, you download your factory ECU file to the unit. You then take it back to your computer, drag and drop that back onto your computer, and then you email it across to BHP UK. They will then, they say it's within 2 days, but they're getting them back to us inside 20 minutes at the moment. But I think that's because we've bought quite a lot of these. And we've literally done one today. We've got a bike at the back here where the customer, he was coming in just for a Jekyll and Hyde. I showed him mine. Obviously, I told him how great it is with the decatted header. We've got, I don't know if you see the boxes down the right-hand side of the room. We've had another fresh delivery of decatted headers in today. They're going to start selling out, well, they're going to be sold out probably by the time this video comes out live. But he said, right, I want it too. So he has literally just forked out for a brand new Jekyll and Hyde, an Akrapovic decatted header, and £550 for this. Obviously, if you are overseas, it'll be less the VAT, but you're going to obviously be subjected to the import taxes if you are outside the UK. So it's going to roughly work out £550 if you've got an R1300 GS. There are other bikes on the website. If you look on there and click down, you'll see the price varies depending on what bike you've got. We will be, it's not on there right now, we will be doing the Ducati Pikes Peak, the RS. They're a bit higher price on the website, you'll see that, and also the KTM. So Tom is dying to get his KTM chipped because he was there on the day and he believes in it too. He knows it's gonna be running right for him. So ultimately, you're gonna have two maps, your factory map and your new map for your bike, which means when you take it to the dealer, we strongly recommend you flick it back to the factory map. And then when it comes back, you flick it to the new map. The reason BHP asks you to do this is because if your dealer does a reset themselves and it goes back to the factory map, something might change in the background where this won't recognize your bike. It's possible. I don't fully understand it, but he just says it's better if you do that. Now, if you accidentally forget to reset it back to the factory map and then your dealer does a reset, if that happens, and then you plug this back in to get your tuned map put back on and it doesn't work, it's not the end of the day. It just means you need to contact BHP and tell them what's happened. You'll then go through the process again where you'll download what you've got and they'll send you a new map, but then there's a fee for that. I think it's £120. Don't quote me on that, I can't remember, but I think it's about 120, 125 pounds. Could be more. Do you know what? Just forget that. All I'm telling you is that there is a charge for that if that happens. So it's just better. Toggle it back to your factory map and then put it back on after it's gone into your dealer. And also, Cal did tell me the dealer cannot detect that you've changed the map on there. So don't forget, all you're doing is making your bike run exactly as that engine wants it to run. You're not ruining it at all. The effects from that is it will run better throughout the whole range of those revs. It is incredible. So make sure you watch that video. I'll put a link down to that so you can see BHP's YouTube video of my bike on their dyno, the before and after. He shows all the prints out and explains exactly the difference between the two and showing all the extra brake horsepower and all that malarkey, all right? So it's definitely worth a watch. Okay, so take a look at the run that I did the other day. Let's get this show on the road. Right, so it's about, what time is it? It is just gone 20 to 4 on a Friday. All the guys have gone home early on a Friday. We have to because we never get lunch breaks during the week. Let's fire it up. Hopefully that's picking up the sound nicely. So that's the valve closed. Oh yes, sorry, I completely forgot to tell you. Did you notice how the engine didn't high rev first? We've turned that off. We don't need that, do we? We don't have a cat, so it's not essential. So as soon as it fires up, it's low rev straight away. So it won't drop down lower than the revs it's currently at right now. So we don't get that high rev bit. So we can literally jump on and ride. So sounds great. Let's open up the valve. Oh, sounds amazing. Right, I'm going to ride it closed to begin with and see how we go. Right, clutch spike. Got to remind myself I'm on a clutch spike. Right, here we go. So even though the rev counter is showing me I can give it large, so to speak. So it's saying that because my key is in the glove box down here. Although the rev counter has given me permission to go faster, I'm just still going to let it warm up before I open it up properly. Second gear pull away. You see, this is a game. It's because I'm on this bloody manual bike and I keep riding clutchless bike. got to tell you, that was smooth. It sounds lovely. Whatever BHP have done to this, somehow they've made it sound quieter. You would never know I've got a decat header on here. That sounds really quiet. So we'll leave it closed for a little bit longer. Blind corner. I can explain it. I'm not saying this has got the same power as an M1000R, okay? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it gave me that memory of my M1000R, that lunatic feeling of where I'm not in control for a moment. Oh, it's great. It's a different bike. It's a different bike. Oh my God. That was so good. That was so good. Right, let's just pull this in a little bit so I'm not in anyone's way. Right, we'll leave the engine on. Put that into neutral for a second. Oh, let's get a breather. I'm not kidding you. I am not joking. That's just nuts. Just that wing mirror. So it's messing with my OCDs a little bit. Alright, double take mirrors, guys. If you want them, we sell them on the website. These are the shorties. We do longer lengths as well. Best mirrors in the world. Right, okay. What we're going to do now then is put it in, we're going to open the valve. Alright, so now it's going to be obviously sound great. And based on what Cal's done at BHP, this should ride beautifully and probably just a little bit more power as well. Okay. Here we go. I'm nervous. I don't understand what he's done to it to make it. Well, I do. I know what he's done, but I don't understand how it's improved the bike that much. It's not the bike I had beforehand. It really isn't. Like fitting the Jekyll and Hyde on there didn't make it quicker. Not, maybe you could fool yourself thinking it's quicker, but it didn't actually make it a quicker bike. It just sounded better. Putting the decat header on there made it sound naughty. Did it make it feel faster? I don't think so. I've got a faster bike now. This is faster, without a doubt. There's no way anyone who gets this map put on their bike can say it's not better. It is frigging incredible. It's incredible. All right, here we go. Let's shut up and ride. Oh, it sounds great. incredible. Oh, look at the bluing on that. Oh, look at that. That decat header's beautiful. Look at the blue and the purples on it. Oh, it's great. So good. So good. Well, back to the studio. I literally just took a 10-minute break to get a glass of water and just check my phone. And in that break, I've literally just sold, based on an Instagram post of me talking about these BHP ECU flashes and the decatted headers. Some guy called Stephen, I won't mention his surname for you're in privacy, but a guy called Stephen, thank you very much. He's just bought decatted headers for his R1250. We stock them here as well, and an ECU flasher. He would have paid a little bit less. I think he paid £450 because his bike is a 2019 model, and that map doesn't cost as much as the newer maps that are currently out there. So thank you very much for your business there. I can see these being really popular because it transforms the bike. It really does. You know what I'm like, guys. I waffle like nuts, but it's because I'm so excited about this product. So excited that I have asked BHP to put a map on every bike. So this bike, he never had a map for it. As I said earlier, he made the map on the day. That map is now on file. We've already used that file a second time on the bike that's over the back. If you look on the ramp, we've got a bike just like mine, but in the grey and red. You might think it's Trophy Pete's bike, if you know who that is. Big Instagram star. It's not his bike, it's someone else's, but it's a different race number on there. But he's the guy I told you earlier. All he thought he was getting was a Jekyll and Hyde, but I convinced him to buy a decatted header and a map. His mate was here, and he's literally deciding whether he's going to do it as well to his R1300 GS. I think he will. So excited that I said, right, I want one on my R1300 GSA behind me. That hasn't been to BHP, and it hasn't been on the Dyno. However, I haven't done anything to that bike apart from change that silencer can on the back, which doesn't really make a great deal of change between the stock silencer and the Acra aftermarket silencer. It's all just about the sound, really. So the map that BHP have on file already, because they've done an R1300 GS already, and the GSA is exactly the same as the GS. So all I did was grab another ECU flasher from my stack, plug it into the GSA, download my ECU information, which has got my chassis number, my VIN number, a lot of personalized, unique native data to that bike. I send that across to BHP. They read that ECU file. They then create the new ECU file, but it's associated to that VIN and my chassis number. So they literally are doing it live. When I was there, I saw them in the offices constantly assigning library maps that they've already created in the past and then sending the files across to the customers. So they then sent the file back to me for that GSA, which they already had on file. We then plugged it in, uploaded it, done. It took 15 minutes to upload the file to it, and now it's done. Took it for a spin, it's changed the bike again. Now, I am really impressed with the R1300 GSA already. Me personally, I'm not a great big tourer. I like riding my bikes off-road. I like to take my bikes on scratchy lanes. I like to lose a bit of control. I like to stay in control, but I like my bike doing, moving underneath me. So the GSA, for me, is a bit too big for that kind of thing, but it's still a great bike. And if I was more into touring and keeping all my tires on the ground at the same time and keeping traction 100% of the time, if that was more me, then I would probably prefer the GSA over my GS. But for me, I prefer to be on this. As you can see, I've got an F900 over there as well. That is still not run in yet, so I can't wait to use that more this year. But the GS, for me, that wins my heart over the GSA. But I took it out on the road and it's changed it again. It's made it an even better bike, and it's increased the brake horsepower of that bike as well. I actually don't know what the brake horsepower is off it. I need to ask BHP. I didn't ask that. I literally just did it, went out and thought, wow, yeah, it's changed it again. And it was already great beforehand, but it's just better now and it feels quicker. The F900 GS, Unfortunately, BHP don't have that bike on file, so I do have to take that back up there. Now, we did take it up there, but I didn't realize it needs to be run in first. I haven't run in my 900 yet. I haven't even done 100 miles on it yet. I just don't get a chance to go out there and ride because I'm busy all the time. I need to get that run in, and then we're going to take it up to BHP and get that mapped. And then that means they'll have the map based on that setup. All we've done is take out the sound box at the back. We haven't decatted it or anything. We've just taken the sound box out at the back and put a link pipe in there. That's it. But they'll have that file soon. So if you want to have a map for your 900, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take it up there and we'll film it again, and we'll show you the differences between how it is as stock and how it is once the new map's gone in there and how it runs. Because although I love that bike, I've only done 70, 80 miles on it. I love it. It's really good, but it doesn't, there's something missing. But I think that's just because it's not an R1300 GS with all the torque. It's got a lot less torque in it. But I love the sound of it. I love the feel of it. But hopefully getting it mapped is going to give me that extra oomph that I can feel like I'm missing. So stay tuned for that one. Stay tuned, map. Whilst you're on here, and if you are interested in the R1300 GSA, we have done a whole video this week. We filmed it. It's all on my computer. It just needs editing. Done a whole video on the strip down of the R1300 GSA. That will be coming soon, screw by screw. But whilst I've got you here, just take a look around it and you can see what we've done to it, because we've now got the upper crash bars from SW Motec. I think they look great. When I first saw them, and speaking to some other people I know in the industry, they were like, don't look very good, do they? But then again, the R1300 GSA, I know it's a matter of opinion, it doesn't win any awards for being the best looking bike, does it? We all knew that when it came out, the Lego bike, whatever you want to call it, or the toaster on wheels. But you can't say it's not a great ride, because it is a phenomenal bike. It's fantastic. But if you are wanting a set of lights for your bike, and as you know, we do D7 Pro bundle, the D3 bundle, because this is like a flagship bike, you need to put the flagship lights on there. We've sold loads and loads of D7 Pro bundles. We've also sold loads of the Lone Rider motor light bundles, but without the motor lights, because Lone Rider will not supply us. Don't know why. Don't know why. Maybe you should email them and say, why are you not supplying Steve Abel a bike thing? You know? I have no idea. Anyway, there's no skin off my nose. If you want to know more about how we are offering motor light bundle, but without the motor lights, then please look at a previous video. I'll put a link down below to that, because we are offering a bundle where you order your lights direct from Lone Rider, but you get everything else to get that on your bike from us, and it will be like a future-proof controller where you get a 5-year warranty, and you know that controller will work with any lights going forwards. And I explain it in that video. I'm not going to do that now on here. I explain it in the video. But my point was, until the upper crash bars came out, the only way you could mount your lights to your R1300 GSA was on the lower crash bars. Now, that position is prone for stone chips coming straight off the front tire. So I really recommend you bring them up higher. Not only that, you'll see there's a split sound bomb on my bike, and that split sound bomb can only be mounted on that front crash bar. It means it can't share the same space where the light pod goes. So if you want a sound bomb on your bike, and it has to be a split sound bomb on the R1300 GSA. If you want a sound bomb on your bike and you want lights, well then you need an upper crash bar, and then use crash bar mounts to mount those lights on the crash bar, just like I've got here, and it looks great. You'll notice as well, the D7 Pros look fantastic on this bike, especially up at that height, because the DRL portion of those D7 Pros match the OEM factory fog lights on the bike as well. Looks really, really good. And just this upgrade itself kind of like makes me fall in love with the bike a little bit. Well, I've never really fell in love with it. I fell in love with the ride, but I've never fallen in love with the looks. But I think this looks right. As Tom called it, it's made it more Humvee. What a great way of explaining it. That is the Humvee of bikes. No question about it. So those bundles are on our website now. So if you want that kind of setup for your bike, a D7 Pro bundle, it's the best lighting bundle that you can put on your R1300 GSA as of today. Also, let's not forget those visor dongles on the back, which make those rear lights even safer. We're stocking those. We sell loads of those every week because they will fit onto any bike with multifunctional turn signals. And on that note, these are things that are just coming to my head right now. Those of you who are watching in America and Canada, I feel your pain. I feel your pain, okay? I understand the whole rear light thing. we are working with Visor and bringing a video to you very soon how you can have European turn signals which will flash amber for you, okay? Because I know your lights are just red. They're just red and they flash red and they break red and everything, and it's very misleading. It's not great for drivers behind you. But we have a solution where you can fit factory BMW turn signals, which you can buy from us, because you can't buy them in the US, can you? We will be stocking them, and you better buy them from us with a solution so you can fit it all to your bike and you'll have, well, it'll be running just like they do in Europe. Red with an amber turn signal, all right? So that's coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. I've spoken way more than enough. I'm so sorry that I've waffled on, and I really appreciate all your support to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, we've got a video out there with over 1.2 million views. 1.2 million views. That's phenomenal. And that was less than a year ago. It was like eight months ago. I don't know anyone who I follow who's managed to get those kind of followings inside 7 or 8 months. If only all those people subscribed to the channel, I'd be really happy. I never ask people to subscribe, but you know what? It does really help. It's great if people do. So please subscribe, because we've always got exciting new stuff coming and we're always growing, got more stuff coming on. Actually, whilst I'm on that note, if you know anyone who loves marketing, loves social media, and is really good with social media, they understand LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anything to help a business, also good with graphics and knows how to put videos together, which isn't essential because I like doing that myself anyway, but someone who is very good at constantly creating content for a thriving business like us, please, can you send them my way? We are looking for a content creator. They don't have to be a biker. It helps if they are, but we are urgently in need of a content creator, because that is one of the most time-consuming parts of my business, but it's the part that we need to do, and we want to be bringing content to you constantly. For me doing it, it means I've got to work 18, 19-hour days, and it's just not viable. I'm an old man now. I'm nearly 50. Look at all this grey hair. Grey as anything. I wear baseball caps to try and look younger. The best way of getting in touch with us, if you want an answer to a question, is by emailing us, team@abikething.com. You can use the contact page. However, I prefer it if you just email us, team@abikething.com, because then we can keep a chain of correspondence going and you can see your email and your sent messages rather than going through a contact form. If you put a comment down below, I only get to see that during social hours, so maybe not a good idea to do that. Obviously, put a comment down below so you get a conversation going with everyone else. That's also very good for the channel. But if you're asking me a question in the comments, I can only apologize if I don't get back to you. It's very hard to keep up with them all with everything else going on. We prioritize emails over anything. We try to get back to people as quickly as possible on emails. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this inspires you to maybe upgrade your exhaust system. Or, do you know what? You don't even need the exhaust. You don't need the headers. You don't, well, I friggin' love it, but you don't need it. It's that map, the BHP map. Just get it on your bike, regardless of upgrades. Just get it on your bike. Let's get your bike running right. Until next time. Stay safe behind bars, not these bars, these bars. See you in the next video.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.